Major General A.K. Sibach is now joining us. Thank you so much for your time. Very good afternoon. I want to begin by asking you if you also are echoing the sentiments of so many veterans and others who have spoken out against the film, saying that it is not even well researched. You just try to fit it into the Indian context and just ended up making a fool of yourself, portraying the special forces in a wrong fashion, and this is not done.
Absolutely correct. No doubt about it. The point is, this is a remake of a Forrest Gump English movie. You know, they must understand the American system and Indian system are very different. At that point of time in Vietnam, they wanted American to join. Not too many Americans were very keen to join, and that's why they possibly have taken people with a low IQ. Indian Army system of taking Jawans and officer is one of the strictest method in the world. Mental, psychological, physical tests are carried out. There is no place for a person with low IQ in the Indian Army. It is a serious profession. You are fighting a war. A person with low IQ will kill his own men. So where is the question of taking a low IQ when we pick up the best out of the best? There is no doubt about it. So I suppose it is in a bad taste, it is disrespectful and disgraceful. You know, Indian Army is taken on the highest esteem by everyone in the country. And you project like this a character, then it shows that anyone and everyone can join Indian Army. And the soldiering is been shown in a poor light. So I suppose they should have carried out much more study and carried out research rather than doing such a thing. Projecting your own army in a poor light in front of your own countrymen cannot be worse than this. And I feel it that this movie should have not been cleared by basically authorities which clear this sort of movie because it sent a wrong message to the countrymen.
I also want to ask you about Aamir Khan. The actor per se has always been excellent when it comes to his films. Very, very good movies. He's had a history of making them in the past, many of them controversial though. What really has gone wrong here? The research has gone wrong. I don't think any of you believe that this is deliberate.
Yeah, I agree with you. I am not saying at all whether it is deliberate, but the fact is once the movie is cleared and it is now shown to the public, Aamir Khan as such is one of the finest actors in the Indian cinema. But the fact is we are now bothering about a character which is depicting in this movie, Laal Singh Chaddha. This is the one which is projecting the Indian Army in a poor light. How can a person with a low IQ can be selected in Indian Army when you select the best out of the best? And it's a serious profession. You are fighting a war. It is not an easy job. You need the people who are mentally tough, physically hardship can be taken by them. So you don't take a second-class chap. And where is the question of taking a substandard chap when you have the best out of the best waiting for it? 4,000, vacancy, you have almost 10 lakhs in the queue. So therefore, the point is, in the Indian context, it is in a poor light and it sent a wrong message. It sent a wrong message to the people who are serving and they think that we can be made as a laughing stock. And what message are you sending to the countrymen that anyone and everyone can join Indian Army? So I suppose more research should have been done. What was there in US at the time of Vietnam War was a very different scenario than what is there in India. In India, it is a very serious profession. Anyone who is selected in Indian Army is tested from all angles, mentally, physically, psychologically, and you do not take a person who is not the best. So therefore, I suppose it should have been done.
Major General Sibach, we're waiting to hear from the actor or those who are in fact behind this movie to get a sense of what really was there on their mind when they decided to go ahead and stick to this particular script, given the loopholes that all of you have pointed out. But often it is said that this is creative freedom and it should also be respected. Where does one draw the line then when it comes to creative freedom?
Fine, agreed that it should be a creative freedom, but you must be realistic. You are touching about the character which belong to Indian Army. People have got high regard for Indian Army. They feel that it is one of the best professions. If you today talk to any person on the street, he said, whom do you depend the maximum? They will undoubtedly talk about the Indian Armed Forces. And you project a character like this, the people start doubting it. And what sort of message it is sent to the people who are presently serving. I suppose it is very disrespectful and disgraceful. They should have carried out more research. You know, you can't allow such a movie to be seen. You can't say this is a creative. If that was the case, where is the requirement of projecting him as an Indian Army officer or Indian Army Jawan? It could have been shown a person joining anyone else's army. So the fact is the characters are shown very real, close to Indian Army, and then you show him that he is low in IQ and he's behaving the way he's behaving. It sends a poor message. You know, you start doubting your own army. You start feeling it that the people who are joining Indian Army, are they the people who are maroon or low IQ, which is far from the reality. We pick up the best out of the best. I suppose, notwithstanding that, you know, anyone and everyone in a democratic country can make any movie. There is a freedom, but not like this. You cannot play with a fire. Indian Army, the best, one of the best in the world, and you are now trying to show that anyone and everyone can join, even people with low IQ. I suppose more research should have done. It hurt the sentiment of the veterans. Remember, each and everyone will speak, don't project us in a poor light. We are a serious profession. The people are ready to give their life, and people are well trained, well motivated, physically tough, mentally alert and robust, and you are projecting a person who is the low IQ. I suppose it's the last thing which you could have done it. Have you done service to the nation, or you have projected the Indian Defence Forces in a poor light?
Respect your feelings, sir. Last question to you is about what next. Do you expect the Censor Board or the Defence Ministry to take note of all of your concerns, given that they've not just been one person, but so many of you, including the mothers, in fact, of martyrs, for example, like Meghna Girish, for example, have come out and spoken about this, calling this film stupid. Do you expect the Defence Ministry to take some sort of action or take note of this at least?
100% should be taken it. You know, Defence Ministry and Censor Board should have done, you know, Censor Board should have gone into detail, should have taken some input from Defence Ministry. And the point is that when you are projecting this, you are projecting a, Jawan or officer from Special Forces. They are the best out of the best. And that's why the mother of the veteran or paratrooper was saying what she was telling. You cannot project, because he is the best out of the best in the Indian Army, and you are projecting him in low IQ. That's not correct. And I fully agree. You know, we must take a case, and the Ministry of Defence should step in, that this projecting of your own person in uniform in such a poor light send a wrong message to each and everyone. It hurt the sentiment of veterans, and we are now, saying it openly. There should have been a better research done. There could have been a better thing. We are only talking about one thing. Why have they projected Indian Army in such a poor taste, which is one of the finest in the world?
Major General A.K. Subhash, thank you so much for your views. Thank you for your time, sir.